Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Iffy, and today we're going to be talking about my honest review of my first year of sixth form and A-level maths. So for anyone who's wondering or who's new to the channel, I do for A-level maths, further maths, physics, and economics. Those are the four subjects that I've chosen to do. Most people these days still do three, but because I do further maths, I've chosen to stick to just doing all four. Because the way my school structures further maths is that we take AS and A2 content of maths in year 12, and then we do the year 13 A-level maths exam in year 12 after learning all of AS and A2. And then next year we do AS and A2 further maths content and then take the year 13 exam for further maths in year 13. So for me this year, further maths and maths, just doing maths and further maths, has been really, really tough, I think, because it demands a lot from you because it it's very much dependent on you being able to be a quick learner. So one thing that I think that differentiates single math students from further math students is that further math students are required to learn a lot of methods that we use in maths a lot quicker, and they don't get as much time to practice on a singular method. They just have to keep learning new methods. Like, for example, the AS content which we took, which we were learning from September up to about December, most people had the entire year to learn that, but we only had like 4 months to do it. So just to give you an idea of what it's kind of like required to do further maths. Obviously, it doesn't. I think that one of the biggest myths that I just want to like debunk now is that further maths is not for like maths geniuses. Like, I don't consider myself a maths genius at all, but I would say that if you're not a quick learner when it comes to maths, if the things don't click really easily to you, or if you don't like, if you're not a hard worker who can like put the work in to be able to practice things quick enough for the turnover of like mathematical methods you have to know, then I don't really know if I would recommend further maths to you. But if you're someone who, learns maths quickly, enjoys maths, and is able to implement different mathematical concepts quickly, then I would really consider further maths. I think it's a really fun and useful course that you can do at A level. I just want to give you the content of what we have been doing this year as well. So I'm going to show you some of the textbook I've been using. So when we started AS stuff, I used this book here. Sorry, the lighting. It's basically the pure mathematics C1 and C2 content. The thing is, the new spec doesn't have modules like the old spec, so it's not like you do C1, C2, C3, C4 anymore. They just have C1 to 4 content all in one big chunk that you have to learn called Pure 1 and Pure 2. It's split between the years, and you basically, all those topics that used to be separated by modules all just mixed up into 2 papers. So we just used the old spec books because it had more questions in them, and it like splits the topics a bit better, so we're like focusing on questions just from that one topic, so it's like quicker to focus and practice on just one particular topic really quickly. The other book that we used was this book here, the Statistics and Mechanics. I don't think you can see that. Yeah, we just used the Statistics and Mechanics Year 1 book because the Statistics and Mechanics stuff is now very, very different. So, like I said, I don't think I explained it at the start, but with the new spec of maths, you have basically what used to be the old C1 to 4 content, but now, apart from the pure, Statistics and Mechanics are now compulsory. So you have to do both of them. Like, you can't just do statistics modules with no like mechanics modules. You have to do statistics and mechanics in year 1, and decision isn't an option anymore you can take in single maths. It's only in further maths. So it's very much so that it's like now focusing towards you being good at maths overall as compared to just picking the modules you're best at. Which I think is nice for some people. For others, maybe not. Like, I know for me, I just didn't really like much of the stats this year. But I mean, I think they're just trying to get people to move more towards getting an understanding of maths holistically as compared to just doing stuff without actually like taking into consideration maths as an entire, subject. Then for the year 2 stuff, we used this book here, the Pure Mathematics C3 and C4 content. And again, we're using the old textbooks purely for the amount of questions that they have, because the new textbooks don't have as many questions. And we also use some of the Statistics and Mechanics year 2 book. But the newer one, because as I said, the modules are very, very different in the new spec as compared to the old spec. So to sum it up, these 4 textbooks here were just like my go-to for all of my revision. And obviously I have class notes as well. It's in this big folder here, labeled, oh, this is the wrong way around. My big folder here, which is like my maths folder, and all of my course content goes in here. As you can see, it's quite a fat folder as well. There was a lot of work that went into here just for like bits and bobs. So let me show you like an example of a typical lesson that we would get in maths. So this is just taken out of my folder from like any random place I found. This lesson was integrating back to ln x. So when you get a function in the form of f of dash x over x, and you want to integrate that, you can integrate that back to ln x in that form. If any of you understand, any of you in year 13 will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this was basically a lesson here. So in the highlighted boxes is normally like the key bit to the method that I need to pick up. And this is what I was talking about before, about being a quick learner when you're doing something like further maths, because normally I don't really pick up most of the you do examples within the lesson, but what you want to pick up is the key method, because the highlighted bit here, which is the method, is normally what I'm going to be using for all of my questions. It just then depends on how I manage to implement that. And on the back of the page, we have loads of different examples that we've gone through in class, just showing us how the method actually works. And then what we then do is then learn how to do the method properly through practice, and then we can apply that across any question that we want to win in the exam. And here again, I've just picked out a random page from like my practice section in my folder, because I have a section in my folder where I put all of my practice work. And I found one of these sheets here, which is basically me just practicing what we learned in the lesson about integrating the form f-x over f of x to get back to ln x. And that's basically what most of my maths lessons are. Like, most of my maths lessons consist of learning a new method, writing down that new method, doing examples of that new method, and then practicing in my own time that method. Because the more you practice it, the more you'll get better at that particular method. And when you practice it more, it just becomes ingrained what you have to do, like for a particular type of question. So I know that if I get a question on like a big graph that has maybe like a ln x function in it, I know that if I'm integrating something from that form, then I can get to a ln x form instead. Or if I'm integrating from like a different function, maybe I'm integrating trig functions, there's a completely different method for that I already know, because I've written down the keynotes for that method. And yeah, that basically sums up what further maths is all about. But when I'm talking about the fast-tracked maths version, so because I do further maths, obviously I've done AS and A2 maths within a year. And that's basically like the gist of it. Most of my lessons follow that same format. And it's really just about learning quickly and learning efficiently so that you can know how to do all of the questions when you get to the exam. And learning how to connect between topics as well, because connecting between topics and being able to model things has become a focus for this year's exams. So you want to be able to know how to do that. I guess while I'm still doing this video as well, I can talk about my exam, because I've done my A-level maths exam, and it was really tough. I think for me, I'm kind of seeing now why the teachers were saying that the way they do further maths in my school is really difficult for year 12s, because we haven't had, if you're looking at it realistically, like, we haven't had that much time to practice the stuff that we've been taught. Like, for me, for my class, we finished the A-level maths course at around April time, and like, our exams were in June, so we had only like a month and a bit to practice like everything in our own time and just do past papers and stuff. Because in our school as well, we didn't get given a mock paper like at all. Like we got 0 mocks. So like, I feel like that was a bit, I didn't have as much exam practice because we didn't have any mocks or anything at all like that. Like all the mocks that I did were all in my own spare time anyway. So it was just a bit like, I didn't have that much practice. I feel like both of my pure papers went, I mean, my first pure paper didn't go that well. I don't think it went that well because I ran out of time for a lot of the questions. And even my second pure paper, I thought was a bit difficult because a lot of the questions were just like stuff I've never seen from a textbook before. And particularly my stats and mechanics paper, the third paper that I did, which is, the first section is statistics and the second section is mechanics. It just went horrendously. Like, I didn't know what I was doing that entire paper. Like, it was just a blur to me. I feel like the general thing that I found when I did those papers was that the questions that I was seeing within the paper weren't like the questions that I saw in the textbook. Like, a lot of the types of questions they were asking were very different to ones that I had encountered in the textbook. And I feel like that's kind of like a shortcoming of using the old textbooks, because I don't feel like I got that same level of practice with the new spec because I did all of the old textbook questions. The thing is, like, even though I technically, like, for me, I felt like I had a bad exam, I really don't know what the outcome is going to be. Because, like, this year was the first year to do the new math spec, and not everyone's even done it. Like, normally you have, like, I don't know, like, a good 200,000 people plus, I think, taking A-level maths. And this year, like, only like 2,000 people took it because it's a new spec, and everyone's meant to take it next year, but because my year does it a year early, we're just that odd group of students that are like doing it before everyone else. So I really don't know how the grade boundaries are going to work out or how the grades are going to work out, but like that's why I can't really, like, if someone asked me like, would you want, like, what do you think you got in that exam? I wouldn't really know how to answer that because I felt like it went badly, but then I just have no clue. So I haven't really been worrying about my exam that much, but we'll just hope, like, maybe in October, not October, what am I saying? In August on results day, like, I'm actually hopefully pleased with the result. And to be honest, I'm just trusting God. Like, I've been so prayerful lately about my exams and just about a lot of things that I'm just hoping that things work out. And hopefully I'll be able to still have the good enough grades, or at least predicted grades, to be able to make a strong application for unis, because I mean, I am making applications for uni next year anyway. So yeah. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel for more, and comment down below what you think, what video I should do next, to be fair, because I wanted to do this A-level maths video because one of my subscribers requested it. But if you want any other videos like this, or maybe I should have a Q&A sometime, I don't really know. But yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. Like I said, if you want any more videos like this, just comment down below, and I guess I'll catch you all laters. Bye.